buddy's dog ran out the door. And so for like 6 days, this dog's running all over the place, all over the countryside, can't get him back. So you know what they did to get him back? They hired someone who had a dog in heat. That's right. Dog will come home no matter what. Gave the dog a home. Hey there, and welcome to the Rural Juror Brewery Tour. I'm Jay.
Well said. I'm Seth.
And today, we're doing Pilsners.
Yeah.
Seemed like a nice light beer for a summer's day. So
Beautiful day.
absolutely.
Beautiful beer.
So the first beer we're going to do today is from Three Sheets Brewing. It's their slow pitch Pilsner.
That's right.
Slow pitch Pilsner. Yeah. 4.9%. Do you know where Three Sheets Brewing is?
I do. So this is a new brewery up in Port Elgin, Ontario, which is up the, I guess, Lake Huron coast. I think when I went up there, they had 4 beers you could get in cans. They had, I think, 2 others you could get in their restaurant. It's connected to a restaurant bar. They had
They had the, yeah?
yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Actually, want to know a funny story about them?
I'd love to hear a funny story, but we're not
Doesn't
using
matter.
that story.
Don't use it.
No,
You could just fast forward through it.
I'm not going to. Look at that color.
It's yellow.
It's yellow. It's the lightest color of beer that you can think of before it goes clear.
Well, typically Pilsners are light in color. More than a lager.
Yeah, well, they're called a light lager in the States.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So we had significant bubbling, but that's obviously disappeared because Seth's story took so long.
Sorry. It was a good story though.
Oh, but I'm smelling a little. Okay, we're not going to talk about the scent before we taste
smelled it.
You did not talk about it. You have to. Okay, we look at it, eyes. We smell it, nose. We talk, mouth. Then we taste.
What do we do after? Is that
Yes, and then you.
okay? I just
Yeah,
wanted to check.
you don't
that
buy
it's-
beer, you rent it. But nonetheless, that smell.
Yeah, it smells good like beer.
Well, it smells good like beer, but it's also got just a hint of sour to the smell. And it's I've got some malt in there, and it's a good smell. It's got a lot of odor for a beer.
It does.
Yeah,
There's quite a bit of flavor.
it's bitter.
Yeah, there's a lot of bitter in there. So I don't know if it's typically Pilsners have Saaz hops, S-A-E-Z hops in there.
Saws.
Saaz.
As in
Rhymes
you've
with-
seen them, so you saw.
No, it rhymes with bras.
Oh,
Saaz.
saws and bras,
That's
not
right.
saz and bras.
I don't think it's bras.
Are we narrating a Dr. Seuss book now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, good to know.
So typically they're
Hop?
Pilsners.
In pop. Dad jokes.
Typically, Pilsners are a little bit more hoppy than a lager.
Which is good for me because typically
Yes.
I like a hoppy drink.
Me too. And you can get some of that hop on the nose.
Hop on the nose.
Hop on the nose.
Good to nose.
It always goes.
I'm drinking with my bros. These jokes are slows. Anyways, yeah, bitter finish, a bright flavor. This is an easy one. You could crush this all day.
Yeah. But
Do
there's
not
a,
recommend, but you
No.
could crush it all day.
but there's a good flavor. There's a good amount of flavor as well. Mm-hmm. It's a nice mouthfeel. It's very clean.
and just the color is so light.
Next beer is the Country Pilsner by Ramblin Road, which is fitting because it's out in the Pilsner. No, out in the country.
That
See
joke
what I did there?
sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, could be worse. It could be a dad joke. Well, Ramblin Road, they actually grow some of their own hops there as well.
They do. Right on the site, you have, actually, there you go. I just put a photo up of that place and all of the hops. Movie magic. Ramblin Road Brewery is owned by the Picard family, which means nothing to anyone unless you're from this area. And in southwestern Ontario, the Picard family is famous for their peanuts.
That's nuts.
Yes, exactly. They
Get the shell out of here.
keep going. More. No?
No, that's it.
You're better than this.
Oh, come on.
That's all you had to say, man.
You didn't and yes me?
I just did. I said, you're better than this. Yeah.
Butter?
Yes. As in better butter. It's a pun. Peanut butter.
That was a
Even-
stretch.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it was pretty good, actually.
I think you hit a walnut.
Okay, you're just rubbing salt in my wounds here.
Salt?
Salted nuts.
That's a
Hey,
stretch.
hey, the audience is laughing their butts
No, they're
off
not.
right now. Everyone's a critic. Fresh from Ontario's only brewery farm. I guess they grow breweries there. In La Salette, Ontario.
Is that French?
It
La
sounds like
Salette.
it. Yeah, La Salette. It's French for the Salette.
Get lots of bread and yeast.
Nope, getting a little bit of bread and yeast. I'm not getting a lot of nose off this.
Smell mine. Mine smells a lot like bread and yeast.
I've heard that before from you.
Oh, maybe it's my finger.
It is
Smell
definitely
my
your
finger.
nope.
Smell my finger.
Nope. I'm glad that you talked about the scent this time before drinking it,
Did
but you
you?
said bread and yeast, and then you walked away from it.
Yeah, because it's a lot of bread and yeast.
Okay.
It's a lot of bread and yeast.
Oh. I'm getting a creamy mouthfeel, and just a drop of bitter flavor to the finish, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else there.
Yeah, it's fairly thin.
No, I'd say it's a lot of thin. See, you said it's a lot of bread and yeast, and I said, nope, it's just a little bit. And now I'm saying it's a lot of thin, and you're saying, no, it's fair.
I'm going to redo my thing. It's quite thin.
It's a very thin beer.
Yeah.
Now, it's not to say it's a terrible beer.
No, there's still flavor there, but
It's just not a lot of flavor. Easy to drink, doesn't have too much flavor. If you're the kind of person who wants a Bud Light and you want something that costs twice as much, there you go.
Well, this is 5%, so it's a little bit more alcohol than a Bud Light, obviously.
I suppose it's more than a Bud Light. Fine. If you want a Budweiser, but don't
Bud Light.
care that it's not gluten-free, go ahead and pay
That's right.
twice as much for this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, up next we've got Stonehouse Brewing's Czech Pilsner.
Stoned House?
Yes, no, Stonehouse. No D.
Like a fraternity?
Well, unlike a fraternity, there's no D. Thank you. Silphi. So, Stonehouse Brewing
They
Company
wish.
is
They
Huron
wish.
County's original brewery, and they have a Czech Pilsner at 5%.
A Czech Pilsner.
Check.
So, as in checkmate?
Check.
Yeah.
Check out the pour on that one.
Check. Check. Out the Czech Pilsner.
You gotta stop spoon feeding them the jokes. Leave something for them to discover.
Check out
Such a pill. Anyways,
Snur.
so the pour on this one is perfect, and he never comments unless it's wrong. But got a wonderful amount of head there. It's a little murky in color, but not
It is.
bad.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah, you gotta stop skipping straight to the tasting, buddy. You gotta look, then smell, talk about both, and then taste.
Yeah, okay.
All right?
Oh, that smells nice.
I'm
Smells cold.
yeah, some
Smells
yeast.
cold.
Some yeast on that smell though. Little yeasty.
I don't smell a lot of yeast.
I'm getting yeast on it. Definitely beery, yeasty smell.
I actually don't get much of a nose at all. Want to switch?
Okay. Not at all. By the way, if you hear a lot of extra voices today, there are people around.
We're being filmed in front of a live studio audience.
A live studio audience.
Why do you have to do that? It's
Yeah,
it's an
just to
actual
confirm that. Hey, all the people that are out there, say hello.
Hello!
studio. See?
We paid them for that.
So,
Not
too
much.
much money.
Is my check in the mail?
Check.
Check. Because it's a Czech Pilsner.
Okay, you don't have to explain the jokes, dude. The audience will get it.
Ooh, that's
Moderate bitterness. Some malt there.
nice. I would say more than moderate bitterness.
You would, but you'd be wrong. This is just moderate bitterness.
I find it quite bitter, but in the middle of the flavor, in the middle of the taste, it ends very smooth with just a hint of bitterness. But in the middle of the taste, I find it quite bitter.
I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to say moderate bitterness in the middle of the flavor, and then the bitterness increases as the aftertaste sets in.
Really? So you finish with more bitterness than you started?
I finish more bitter than I start. Yes.
Note to self.
Maybe I should get that checked in.
It's nice and creamy in the mouth. It's not really thin. There's a lot of maltiness in there. There's a good amount of hops.
Tell me more about what you mean by cream in the mouth. I'm getting malt in that middle flavor as well. Like that moderate malt and that moderate bitterness. That's a well-crafted beer. The bitter finish to it leaves me thinking, okay, there's still flavor after it's done, but I'm really enjoying the whole experience.
Yeah.
And I'd say that's a little darker than the last one, but not by much.
This is not a beer that you're gonna pound.
You
This
could.
is-
I think you could.
I guess you could. This is not a beer that I would want to pound.
And that's the difference. I think
wanna
this is so
enjoy
well
this beer.
crafted that
Yeah.
I don't want to crush a whole bunch of them. I want to have the one, enjoy, split it with Buddy, and just enjoy the flavors
That's
that it
right.
has.
Yeah. Thank you for watching the Rural Juror Brewery Tour.
Well said.
Thank you.
I'm Jay.
I'm Seth.
Check us out next time when we try some more beers.
Make sure you like and subscribe below.
See you later. You're not Mork. You can't drink it with your finger. Dated reference.
Barry. And he was never dated.
That's true. But you're like,
I want to sleep in my own bed tonight.
why? Is that good a bed?
It's a pretty good bed.
Okay.
It's a pillow top.
Why do you do this?
Because there's a pillow top on top.
Is that intimidating?
No, it's a
Okay,
pillow
good.
top.
I'm just saying.
There's a pillow on top of
And
my
then you put a
mattress.
pillow on top of the pillow top?
Yeah.
And then you put your head on top of the pillow on top of the pillow top on top of the mattress?
You lost me at pillow.
We were doing a Dr. Seuss thing.
Oh. Hop and pop?
Why aren't you yes-anding me?
Yes, and.
Say, this next up we have the Country
you wanna
Pilsner
fucking do
from
this?
Ramblin Road Brewery, which is out in the middle of
Can't get good help.
the...
Can you just and yes me?